Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I have 2 o'clock on my phone. I think time we get started. We appreciate everyone, all our Santa Gertrudis and Red Pole exhibitors. So as we get started, I'd like to introduce our judge for the Red Poles, Mr. Andrew Dobb. He's judging the Red Poles today. He's from Danville, Indiana. He's a fourth-generation farmer there and livestock producer focusing on raising elite kind of Charolais females. He's been involved with the beef cattle industry since 1993, along with his wife Krista and kids. Currently they have 70 cows at home. Mr. Andrew Dobb, welcome him on the Red Pole side. And on the Santa Gertrudis side, homegrown Santa Gertrudis young man. Like that, Mr. and Mrs. Heath, been involved in the Gert business forever and ever. Jason Heath is your judge from Piedmont, Oklahoma, graduate of University of Kentucky, was on the judging team that finished fifth, high team at the national contest, and he was a senior All-American. He's judged now in 31 states, including North American, Fort Worth, Houston, Dixie National, and Cattlemen's Congress. Jason, Cody, Ty, and Tiffany are actively raising multiple breeds of cattle focused on the junior show cattle deal. Welcome, Mr. Jason Heath. Thank you, Judge Dobb. Congratulations, result of Class 7 Red Pole Junior Heifer Calves. Your winner is entry number 3, shown by Malcolm Ray, Portland, Indiana. Your Junior Heifer Calf 3 will also be Junior Heifer Calf Champion, Division Champion. Congratulations, you're a winner in the Red Pole Class 10 late senior heifer calves with entry number 6, shown by Adam Miller from Eminence, Kentucky, also first in Kentucky owned.
Once again, it's a pleasure to be here and have the opportunity to sort through these cattle. This is a very challenging class because there's pieces and parts of every one of these females that you like and pieces and parts that you would like to change. I think the one that puts the most things together in terms of growth and stoutness and muscle shape and design and body dimension is the heifer I'm going to use to win the class. She's the biggest footed. You get behind her, she's definitely the biggest top, the biggest ended heifer in the class. Just super rugged in her design, extremely deep through the center portion of her body. If we could change her, I'd like to clean her front end up a little bit, just like to see her just a little bit neater up through that neck area, just see her a little bit cleaner up through that front end, and just see her want to get out and go a little bit better. Once she gets into motion, she's fine. She's just really hesitant on the halter. The heifer in second is probably the best design, best profiling heifer in the class when we get her on the profile. I love her look. She is so extended up through her front end, and she excels the first place heifer in that area. So level top, so level design. She's just a tick small to me. She's a tick refined in her bone work. I think that once this one gets a little bit further along in her maturity, that one's going to be really good. The next two gets really close, and I think that you could flip-flop these either way and feel pretty comfortable. I thought that the heifer that we've got in the third hole probably is a little bit better up through her front end than the heifer that we've got in fourth. I think that she's just a little bit neater. I think that her transitions are a little bit better, the way that she blends from her shoulder into her top, into her hip. I think that she's just a little bit more complete. Heifer that we're rounding the class out with, it's not a bad heifer by any means, and the young man does a heck of a job showing her. This heifer just gets a little short-necked, a little bit chuffier up through that front end. She just gets a little too masculine compared to the other heifers in the class. Really good set of heifers. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
Thank you, Judge Heath. Results from Class 3, Santa Gertrudis Early Junior Heifer Calves. Your winner, entry number 9, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. In second place was entry number 5, shown by Excel Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas. Third place was entry number 8, shown by Pitchford Cattle in Eustis, Texas. And fourth place was entry number 7, Dwayne Ermis from Navasota, Texas. And you're behind a little on my red poles, Class 11. Congratulations, your winner. Well, an early senior calves in the red pole was entry number 8, shown by Adam Miller from Eminence, Kentucky. Second was entry number 7, Howard Young, Simpsonville, Kentucky. And first in Kentucky owned, excuse me. Congratulations, your senior heifer calf champion, division champion, is entry number 8, shown by Adam Miller from Eminence, Kentucky. We need Howard Young back to show for reserve division. Congratulations, your reserve senior heifer calf in the red pole. Breed belongs to entry number 6, Adam Miller from Eminence, Kentucky. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Results from Class 19, March Junior Yearling Red Pole Heifers. Your winner, entry 14, shown by Audrey McNamara from Syracuse, Indiana. This is Class 20 on the red pole side. Class 20 entering ring.
two absolute bangers on the top end of this class, and I think that you could appreciate either one of these and just enjoy just looking at these, because these are both good cattle. The heifer that I'm going to use to win the class, I think when we get behind her, I think that she's got a little more true mass, especially through the center portion of her quarter. When we look at her from stifle to stifle, I think that whenever we really get to watching her on the move, I think that she places her back feet down just a little bit better than the heifer in second. Love the look, love the body. Really nice heifer to win this class. This heifer in second, I think that once this heifer gets a little more comfortable in the ring, I think this one is definitely going to be a contender. She is so elegant up through her front end. The way that she ties in out of her neck is so high, but yet she's got a really nice angle to her shoulder. That way that scapula lays back, and the way that she can extend that front end is really unique for one to have as good a look as she's got. Super good bellied heifer, maybe not quite the center body mass of the first place heifer. Really, really, really nice heifer. If I'm going to get on this one any at all, when she's walking away from me, she wants to roll on those back feet a little bit. She wants to get outside of herself. I think that a good foot trimmer could straighten that out on that, but that's a good heifer. Then we've got two down here on this end that just ran into two buzzsaws. Love the power, love the substance, love the mass of the heifer that we have in third. Big body, big belly kind of a heifer, one that you appreciate in terms of her just sheer internal dimension, but yet she just gets a little plain, wants to roll off her hip. Compared to the two in front of her, nothing wrong with that heifer at all. She just ran into two buzzsaws. Then the young man's heifer here down on this end is one that I think the longer that this one's on feed, the better she's going to get. She is attractive up through her front end. She's square down her top. She just gives up too much mass to place any higher today. She gives up too much center body. She gives up too much shape and sweep to the center portion of her rib. But certainly, young man's doing a really nice job with that heifer.
Results of Class 20, Red Pole Early Junior Yearling Heifers. Your winner, entry number 15, Cooper McCall, Eminence, Kentucky, and First in Kentucky owned. On the Santa Gertrudis side, results of Class number 4, Late Senior Heifer Calf. Your winner was entry number 14, XL Santa Gertrudis from Houston, Texas. In second place was entry number 11, Andy McDaniel from Atlanta, Georgia. Third place was entry number 10, Pitchford Cattle Company from Eustis, Texas. And fourth was entry number 13, Andy McDaniel, Atlanta, Georgia. We're now selecting the champion heifer calf on the Santa Gertrudis side. Junior champion female on the red pole side. Congratulations, your junior calf heifer champion is entry number 15, shown by Cooper McCall, Eminence, Kentucky. Reserve champion will be 14, entry 14, shown by Audrey McNamara from Syracuse, Indiana. Congratulations. Cooper McCall will be first Kentucky owned in that division.
If you see me talking to somebody out here, that's my son, and he's helped me in quite a few rings and stuff. So I bounce ideas off of him all the time, and he and I see cattle about as well as each other could. And the one thing that he said, man, all four of these pair up really good, and they do. They're all similar in type and in kind. They're all big bellied. They're all sound footed. They're all stout structured. And to have as much stoutness and as much ruggedness as all four of these do, they're still sound, and that's the thing that we appreciate the most about them. The calf out of the first class, you talking about one that is burly and stout and big-bodied and bold-sprung and just rugged in her design, and still fairly attractive up through her front end, square-hipped, powerful when you get behind her. We talked about her in class. If we're going to get on her any at all, maybe like to clean her up just a little bit in that neck area. I think she'll grow into it as she matures into a big senior yearling. I think this one's going to be pretty nice up through that front end and everything. Just super stout, super sound, big body. Calf that was second behind her was the one that was so elegant and neat up through her front end and just sheerly attractive. Just gave up a little bit of substance. One out of the second class is one that just puts a lot of good things together in terms of design and profile and silhouette, and just when you get her on the profile, so elegant up through her front end, and the way that she ties in out of that chest so clean and ties in high. We set her into motion and she just rocks it and just gets out and with a lot of fluidity and just flexibility off both ends and keeps it together in a good square package. So I think that there's four really, really, really nice heifers out here. I'm going to go through. I'll pick your champion, then we'll come back and reanalyze for reserve.
Congratulations. Your senior heifer calf champion comes out of class 4, is entry number 14, exhibited by Excel Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas. Results of class 24, late senior yearling red pole heifers. Your winner was entry number 19, Justin Platt, Fairland, Indiana. Congratulations, your reserve calf champion on the Santa Gertrudis side is entry number 9, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations.
two high-quality individuals out here. Heifer that wins this class, she just wins it on stoutness of structure and foot size and bone circumference. This one just overpowers the second place one in those categories. And when you get behind her, I think there's more to her. I think there's more natural skeletal width to this one. I think that when we look at her both coming at you and going away from you, she just tracks out wider. I just think there's more heifer here. Now, if I could change her, if I'm going to get on her, she gets a little erect in that shoulder. She maybe just doesn't quite move out of her front end quite as well as what I'd like to see. But in terms of just stoutness of structure and skeletal width and internal capacity, it's a really nice heifer. The heifer that we've got in the second hole, man, you're talking about one that is smooth and blends from the nose all the way back the way that one should. You look at how neat she is from her shoulder into the transition to her rib cage into her hip, and you love that about her. This one just gets a little frail. She gets a little smaller footed. She gets a little narrow up through that chest floor. When she's coming at you, just gets just a little bit more skeletally compact than what I would like to see one, especially compared to the heifer in front. Two really nice heifers out here, a little bit different types and kinds, but both really good heifers.
Congratulations, results of Class 8 in the Santa Gertrudis show. Your late summer yearling heifers, and winner was entry number 18, shown by Pitchford Cattle, Eustis, Texas. And your second place was entry number 30, shown by Excel Santa Gertrudis from Houston, Texas. Congratulations. Thank you, Judge Dobb. The results of Class 25, Red Pole, early senior yearling heifers. Your winner was entry number 20, shown by Mackenzie Young from Shelbyville, Kentucky. Second place was entry number 21, Andrea Weaver, a Janier from Indiana. And in third place, entry 22, Justin Platt from Fairland, Indiana. Congratulations. Senior champion female will be next on the Red Pole.
I think whenever we really get to analyzing these two, it just comes down to structure. I think that the heifer that I'm going to use of the young man's is just more structurally intact up through its front end. I think it holds itself together better whenever we set it into motion, holds its top together so much better than the heifer that we've got in second. I love the front end in the heifer in second. If I'm going to knock on the heifer in first, I think that that she gets just a little bit plainer about her head and neck than the heifer that that we've got in second. Just doesn't quite tie in as high, but she is so fluid. She's so flexible off both ends, and she holds herself together better when the young man puts it in motion. The heifer that we've got in second, gosh, I love her front end. I mean, if we could take this one, the way that she ties in so high and the way that she's so jacked up about that head and neck, you love that about her. This one just gets piecey in her top. She gets open in her blades a little bit. She's so powered up, and she has so much muscle mass. And I think that it restricts her in her movement a little bit when we set her into motion. When she stops, she's deadly. Love the sweep to her rib. Love the hip that she's got. Love that front end. Just like to change the way that she moves. Two really nice heifers.
Thank you, Judge Heath. Results of class number 9, early summer yearling Santa Gertrudis heifers. Your winner is entry 21, Dwayne Ermis from Navasota, Texas. In second place was entry number 22, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations. Congratulations. Your junior champion heifer is entry number 20, shown by Mackenzie Young, Shelbyville, Kentucky.
Single entry out here, and the heifer's doing a great job for the young man. He's got her head up. He's got her looking like she should. Let her in here in the proper manner. Just a really nice heifer. One that we love the hip in this heifer. We love the spread between her hooks to her pins and just how much sheer mass that she has. She gets a little straight up through her front end. She gets a little erect in that knee and in that shoulder. Maybe just like to see her just a little bit more flexible. But from a stoutness and power standpoint, I think that you have to appreciate this female.
Congratulations. Results of Class 10, Santa Gertrudis Late Junior Yearling Heifer. Entry number 24, your winner, Luke Taylor, the exhibitor from Litchfield, Kentucky. And first in Kentucky owned. Congratulations, your senior champion female winner is entry number 21, exhibited by Andrea Weaver, Logan Legionnaire. I need somebody to help me with that town, Indiana. Legionnaire? I probably still butchered, sorry. Legionnaire. On the red pole side, we're showing for grand champion female. Congratulations. Your grand champion red pole heifer is exhibited by Adam Miller from Eminence, Kentucky, number 8 is the lot number. Okay, congratulations.
Another interesting class on the Santa Gertrudis side. I think from the shoulder back, the heifer that we used to win this class wins it rather handedly. I think that she's more ideal in her rib shape. I think she's more ideal in her muscle pattern. I think that she shows me more shape and outer turn to her quarter, more true muscle mass whenever we get her on the side profile. I think that what separates these two is just the angle to the hock and the angle to the pastern. I think that the heifer that we're going to use to win the class is just more ideal in the foot placement on that back two compared to the heifer that we have in second. If I could change anything about her, she just gets a little cresty up through that neck for me and just maybe not quite as feminine as I'd like to see. But from just a pure structural standpoint, from a meat and muscle standpoint, I think this heifer wins and wins pretty easy. The heifer that we've got in second is one that gives you a good look on the side profile from a squareness standpoint, from a levelness of top and levelness of hip standpoint. She gets a little shorter up through that front end. Like to see that extended a little more. What concerns me about this one is when we put her into motion, she struggles off those back two a little more. What I'd like to see, just like to see her track out just a little bit truer and a little bit square.
Your reserve grand champion red pole female comes out of class 20, is exhibited in that lot number 15, exhibited by Cooper McCall from Eminence, Kentucky. Cooper, congratulations. You're a reserve grand champion female. On the Santa Gertrudis side, results from class number 11. Your winner was entry number 27, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Like that. And second place was entry 26, shown by Alan Barlow from Lenore, North Carolina. All our winners in the red pole show have been Kentucky owned. Congratulations, Kentucky exhibitors. Results of your bulls, there will also be champion reserve, grand and reserve, out of class 35, entry 30, exhibited by Adam Miller from Eminence, Kentucky. And the second was entry number in reserve grand champion, entry number 31, exhibited by AK Cattle Company, Shelbyville, Kentucky. Congratulations to our red pole exhibitors. Thank you, Judge Andrew Dobb, for sorting through the red pole. Do we have any groups? Thank you, red pole exhibitors. Appreciate you. Head to the backdrop. We need pictures.
Extremely high quality division out here, and I think that there will be 3 or 4 of these heifers that'll be in contention at the national show next year, and and be contenders for high points in this division that are standing out here right now. And I don't think that you're really wrong if you go with 3 or 4 of these different heifers to win this division. But in my opinion, I think that there's 2 or 3 out here that are elite. The heifer out of the first class, I love this heifer's center body. If we could design a center body in a Santa Gertrudis female, it would be one that looks like this one. Not wasty at all, clean up through her chest floor, got a nice sweep to her rib, natural in her appearance in terms of just being bold sprung and just capacious, and you love that about her. Love her when we set her into motion. She's so flexible off both ends. Maybe gets just a little bit wastier compared to the heifer that we've got in the second, just right through that throat latch. But this is certainly a good one. The second to that one in class, we talked about just how elegant and how much of a silhouette that it presented. Super sound on his feet and legs. Just got a little bit narrow whenever we compared her to this heifer. Now, is she narrow? I don't think she's narrow at all. I think that just compared to this one, she just gets a little more skeletally compact in terms of natural width compared to the first place heifer. 2 really good heifers out of that class. The one that we had in the second class, one that we just talked about, just sheer ruggedness of design and flexibility off both ends. Super flexible in her hock, super flexible in her pastern, and we love that about her. When we compare her to some of the others on either side of her, is she just naturally deep through the center portion of her body? I don't know. I don't think she's quite as deep, but is she deep enough? That's up to whoever's sorting them that day. This one is a really nice heifer that's got a good look and really elegant. The heifer that was second to that one in class, we talked about her, just how ideal she is up through that neck-shoulder junction and how ideal she was up through that chest floor in the way that she just presented herself and gave a really cool silhouette. I think this one is a month or 2 away from being in her prime. I think this one is still skinny. I think that as we feed this one, as we get this one more roughage in her, and we expand that rib cage and get her to where that she needs to be, this one's going to be pretty deadly as well. Then we've got the young man's heifer here, one that was a single entry in class that we just talked about how much power and width and dimension she had, and just sheer power. This one gets a little out-horsed to the others out here in terms of just eye appeal and balance and look. This one just gets a little bit behind. Then the heifer out of the last class was one that you talked about when she stopped. She is so nice. She's big-bodied. She's big-hipped. She is just so muscular in her design and just so much power and shape and dimension. This one just gets a little bit more restricted in her movement. Maybe doesn't quite hold her top together as well as what we would like to see at times. But she's just really nice. Maybe just like to clean that neck up a little bit as well. Just a really good heifer. So we've got some really good cattle out here. I'm going to pick the 2 that I like the best in this division. It's ones like this that make me excited. So I'm going to go out and pick the one that I like the best and then come back and pick the reserve.
Congratulations. Your champion yearling heifer in the Santa Gertrudis show is entry number 18, exhibited by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations, Darrell. And your reserve yearling heifer champion Santa Gertrudis is Axtel's Santa Gertrudis from Houston, Texas, entry number 30. Congratulations.
only a single entry out here. Certainly a high quality female. One that from her shoulder back is really, really nice. She's level top, she's level hip, she's big bodied, she's got a nice sweep to her ribs, she's good footed. When we look at her from a side profile, heifer that just puts a lot of really good things together. She's got a little swelling in her hocks, but I've showed cattle up here enough to know that this Louisville concrete can certainly be hard on one, but this is a good, nice, balanced kind of a female.
Congratulations, results from Class 13. Entry number 31, your winner, Dwayne Ermas from Navasota, Texas. We're ready for AOBs. If they would bring those on. Thank you. Congratulations, your winner in the first class of AOBs is in Class 5 was entry number 3, shown by Bradley Piles from Bardstown, Kentucky. AOB your judge is Mr. Andrew Dobb from Danville, Indiana, 4th generation farmer, livestock producer, and is basically working on his herd, works with really trying to making elite Charolais females. He's been in the cattle business since '93. And along with his parents, his wife, Krista, and kids, run about 70 cows there. Mr. Andrew Dobb, to sort our all other breeds division.
I'm going to use the more moderate of the two when we start to look at them in terms of mature size and that kind of stuff. In my mind, this one is more ideal. She's really fresh up to her front end, really fresh in her condition. I think in udder quality alone, this one kind of sorts itself to the top. Does she give up some stoutness of structure and just some ruggedness? Yes, she does. But when we look at her in terms of her elegance of design, in terms of her silhouette, in terms of udder quality. I think this one kind of sorts her way to the top. Big, big, big stout cow in the second hole. And if you like them big and you like them stout, you're going to love this one. She's big-footed. She's rugged in her makeup. Udder quality, to me, I think that it gets a little bit off balance. I think that the right side is just a little bit lighter than what I would like to see, and she is a big old girl. But if you like them big and like pounds per day of age, you're going to love this one. So two really nice pairs.
Thank you, Judge Heath. Results from Class 16, Santa Gertrudis, late 2-year-old heifers. Your winner was entry 32, shown by Excel Santa Gertrudis from Houston, Texas. And second place was entry number 33, shown by Pitchford Cattle, Eustis, Texas. We're now for champion senior female coming in. Automatic senior champions just in the last class. Excel and Pitchford, 1-2. Thank you, Judge Dobb. Results of class number 6, junior heifer calves in the all other breeds division. Your winner was entry number 7, shown by Stephen Green, Hodgensville, Kentucky, and first in Kentucky owned. Second was entry number 6, Adele Hood from Springfield, Kentucky, also second in Kentucky, Kentucky bred. Santa Gertrudis are showing for grand champion female. Santa Gertrudis are showing for grand champion female. Congratulations. Your AOB, your junior heifer calf champion is entry number 3, Bradley Piles from Bardstown, Kentucky. And your reserve junior heifer calf champion is shown by entry 7, shown by Stephen Green from Hodgensville, Kentucky. Congratulations.
I don't care what breed you're talking about and what area or of the country you're in. If you're a cow man and can't appreciate all 7 of these that are out here plus their calves, I think that there's something wrong with you. These are high quality individuals, and I think that as we take these and project these into tomorrow, into that Grand Drive deal that they've got that pays pretty good money that Warren and them have put together, I think that these are contenders, and I honestly believe that because they're all good cattle, and they're all made right, and having the opportunity to come back to Kentucky and sort through these and get back with basically the 2 breeds today that kind of helped set me to the place that I'm at now. Angus and Santa Gertrudis is a pleasure and a privilege, and I appreciate the Santa Gertrudis Association for giving me the opportunity to come out here and do it, and so it's always a pleasure. The calf division 1, I dig this thing. I think this thing is cool made. I think it's good looking. I think that it's got the right pieces and parts up through its front end. I think that the way that it holds itself together on the move is exquisite. I think that the silhouette that it gives you is exquisite. The sweep to its center body is exquisite. I think that this thing puts together so many good things that you just have to appreciate that about it. The angle of its front end, and like I said in division, to be as extended and as high tying as it is out of that neck and up through that chest floor, the angle to its shoulder is really, really nice, and that's 2 hard pieces to put together. So many times when we get them that extended up through their front end, the scapula wants to come up and they want to get restricted in their front end, and so I think that's a really unique critter. The heifer out of the 2nd division, I think that when we look at them in just terms of sheer stoutness and ruggedness and width and dimension and power and width down their top, I mean, you look at this thing and it's hog backed. I mean, it's got a groove down its top. It's so powerfully muscled. You can predict that this one could go out and raise a national champion bull that you could sell semen all over the country just because it is so rugged. And to be that rugged, it's so flexible off both ends and so good in its pasterns and so good in its hocks, just so flexible when we put it into motion. Just really, really like those aspects about it. It maybe wants to roll off its pins at times, but I don't think that's a big enough thing to be too hard on it. Really good looking, really big bodied, really good footed, just so stout, structured, and so powerful. The heifer out of the single entry out of the 3rd division, we talked about this one, just another one that's big footed, raw bone, big hip. You get behind her and she's got so much power from stifle to stifle and pin to pin, and you appreciate those things about it compared to the ones on either side of her. She might get a little plainer fronted. She's got a little swelling in those hocks as well, but this is one that is an extremely high quality individual. Then the pair down here to my far left, I think here's one that's still trying to play a little bit of catch up from where that she's had this calf. She is super fresh in her condition, maybe a little hard right now. I think this one is only going to continue to get better. I think as this one goes along in feed and time, I think this one's only going to get better. So flexible. I love that about her, and I'm a structure guy. I always have been. I grew up in a time frame where that we had them big and we had them ill-made and they couldn't walk and they wouldn't last 5 or 6 years. These things have got to make cows. They've got to make cows. They've got to be long-living. I mean, when we're talking about replacement females at Beaver Stockyards where I was at last week, averaging $4,000, we can't afford to be replacing these things every 5 years. So it's longevity is important. Structural soundness is important. Easy fleshing and big bodiedness is important to me, and this female does a lot of that. Super good uddered. Calf, I'd like to change its underline a little bit. I'd like to clean that sheath up a little bit on this guy. I think you do that. It's a pretty neat calf on the side of this one as well. Super uddered. I think this one's got a long road in front of her. She's going to be really good down the road as well. I think that you could go with any of these 4 and a couple of them behind them and feel really confident. I'm going to go out and pick the one that I like the best today and then come back and reevaluate for reserve.
Congratulations, your grand champion, Santa Gertrudis female, entry number 14. Axel Santa Gertrudis from Houston, Texas, your winner. Congratulations.
I would be remiss if I didn't say anything about the calf that stood second to that one in division. Here's another one that is so good ribbed, so deep bodied, so powerfully made. Much the same thing that we can say about the calf out of the second class, just robust and rugged and stout structured and still long fronted. She's got a little more leather than the heifer that beat her in that division, but she's still long fronted and still super sound whenever we set her in motion. I think that there's some really good cattle left standing out here. I'll go out and pick the one that I like the best for reserve.
Congratulations, your reserve grand champion goes to entry number 18 in the Santa Gertrudis Show, Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations on reserve grand champion. Thank you, sir. Congratulations on results of class number 10, late senior heifers in the all of the breeds division. Your winner, entry number 12, Bristol Holloway, Olmsted, Kentucky, and first in Kentucky owned. Second place was entry number 13, Daniel Taylor, Nicholasville, Kentucky. And in third place, entry number 14, Clara Holloway, Olmsted, Kentucky. Congratulations. Your champion, Kentucky owned, belongs to Mr. Luke Taylor from Litchfield, Kentucky. Congratulations to Luke, John, and Nolan, and the whole bunch, Emily, and the whole bunch. I forgot Karen and Scott, too. Congratulations, results of Class 11, early senior heifer calves and all the other breeds division was won by entry number 15, Amelia Grifshofer from Auburn, Kentucky. Congratulations, and first in Kentucky owned.
heck of a way to start the bull show out on the Santa Gertrudis side. Cody and I were just talking. This little guy's cool. I mean, the way that he's angled up through his front end, the big top, the big hip, a lot of the same things that could be said about the heifer that I just used for champion kind of fits this guy in terms of the front end angles and the way that the shoulder lays in and just the stoutness of structure and the body mass. Really nice calf to start the show off.
Results of starting your bull show in the Santa Gertrudis. Results of Class 25, 342, XL Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas, wins class. Congratulations to Bristol Holloway, entry number 12, with your champion in this division, the All of the Breeds from Olmsted, Kentucky.
Another single entry in the Santa Gertrudis Bull Show. You get behind this guy, and you certainly appreciate his shape and dimension that he has in terms of his muscle pattern, in terms of his top shape. Maybe like to bring his tail head down, get it set down into his pelvis just a little bit more like the angle to his sheath. Nice made calf.
Congratulations, Santa Gertrudis, Class 26. Your winner, entry 43, shown by Dwayne Ermis from Navasota, Texas.
High-performing kind of a calf that's really clean made in his underline and really nice in his sheath design as well. Here's a calf that you appreciate in terms of his growth, in terms of his weight per day of age. Like to change this guy up to his front end. Really wants to jam those front feet in the ground. Doesn't extend that forearm quite as well as what I'd like to see. Just like to see him loosened up in his structure.
Thank you, sir. Results from Class 27. Late senior bull calf. Entry number 46 wins the class. Thomas Benfield from Statesville, North Carolina. Congratulations. Your reserve division winner in this senior calf division was entry number 13, shown by Danielle Taylor, Nicholasville, Kentucky.
We're not going to go through and talk about these individually. I think that they've all got their good points and their bad points. As we stated earlier in the heifer division, look for sound ones that are big-bodied and got some muscle shape and dimension and still have a nice show ring presence. I think there's one out here that kind of fits that bill really well. It'll be the calf out of the first class that'll win your calf division. We'll come back with the one out of the second class for reserve.
Congratulations, your calf champion in the bull division for Santa Gertrudis, entry 43, shown by Dwayne Ermis from Navasota, Texas. Reserve would be Thomas Benfield from Statesville, North Carolina, entry number 46. Congratulations in all of the breeds. Young man Trey Davis wins this class, entry number 19 from Ivy, South Carolina. On the Gertrudis champion bull, was entry number 42 out of class 25, XL Santa Gertrudis. And 43 was your reserve Santa Gertrudis bull, Dwayne Ermis, Navasota, Texas, entry 43.
Another single entry out here. Here's a guy that could stand some competition. We watched him walk in. He's really fluid in his movement. He's soft off both ends. Reaches out with those back feet, sets him right where the pattern of his front feet left off. And when she gets him set up here, has a really nice look. Good square made kind of a calf.
Congratulations out of class 31, Santa Gertrudis late summer yearling bull. Your winner, entry 49, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas.
Single entry out here that the young man's brought us, and here's one that you talk about, one that is good hipped. For a Santa Gertrudis, this guy is unbelievably good hipped. He's square, he's wide from hooks to his pins. You get him off on the side profile, tremendous amount of shape and outer turn to his quarter to go along with that. He's good ribbed, he's soft made, he's flexible off both ends, and he's got a really nice look about him. This is an extremely high quality individual to be a single entry.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Your winner in class 32, entry number 50, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations in your AOB division, class 15, early summer yearling heifers. Your winner, entry number 22, shown by Grant Taylor, Winchester, Kentucky. Second place was entry number 21, Briley Snediger from Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Congratulations.
Another single entry over here. Here's a guy that's extremely moderate. I'd call him commercial oriented in the way that he's made. He's moderate, he's big bodied, he's soft, super soft in the center portion of his rib. He's full in his fore rib, he's full in his rib up top. If it's going to get on him too much, I'd like to lay that tail head down into his pelvis just a little bit more, but certainly easy fleshing, big body, clean sheath, just a super functional made kind of a bull to be a single entry out here.
Congratulations, class. Results from Class 33. Your winner, entry 52, Thomas Benfield from Statesville, North Carolina. As we get into our intermediate division on the Santa Gertrudis side, I think these are three functional made kind of a bulls, but they're all different. The bull down to my far right, big growthy kind of a calf that'll put some pounds into a calf crop for sure. He's long-bodied, he's long-hipped, he's got some front end extension to him. Maybe like to clean that sheath up just a little bit, see him pull that prepuce up just a little bit, but here's a guy that's got a lot of good pieces and parts. Bull out of the second class is one that we talked about is ideal in his hip. Love the pin width that he has, love the stifle to stifle dimension that he has, love the shape and outer turn that he shows me whenever I get him on the side profile. And to go along with that, he's super cool up through his front end. He maybe like to see him just balance out just a little bit better in that flank compared to the forerib. I think as this guy gets along and he matures a little bit more, I think that's going to drop. But super high quality calf. Then the bull calf out of the third class is one that is super moderate in his design. He's level in his top. He's level in his hip. He's just got so much muscle when you get behind him. To go along with that, though, he gets a little plainer up through his front end. He gets a little shorter up through that head and neck area. I think this guy's pretty much maxed out on his growth pattern. But if you've got a bunch of big cows that need some moderation of frame size and need to put some extra guts in them, I think this could be a guy that'd work for you. So 3 different types, all high-quality individuals. I'll go out and pick your champion and come back and pick your reserve in this division. Congratulations, your champion, yearling bull in the Santa Gertrudis is entry number 50, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. And your reserve is shown out of Class 33, entry 52, Thomas Benfield, Statesville, North Carolina, with your reserve intermediate champion bull, Santa Gertrudis. Congratulations. Intermediate champion AOB belongs to entry number 19, Trey Davis, Iowa, South Carolina. And your reserve intermediate champion heifer, AOB, is entry number 22, shown by Grant Taylor, Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations.
Exquisite individual that we've got out here in the Santa Gertrudis Drive, and I really wish that there was some to compare and contrast with, because this guy's really good. You know, I've had the opportunity to sort through the National Santa Gertrudis Show and seen a lot of these cattle come at me before, and it's interesting to see how that they've changed and how they've matured, and some of them have gotten better and some of them have gotten worse, and this guy's definitely gotten better. Love the body shape in him. The thing that impresses me the most about him is how just he's so complete and he's so balanced in his body type. You look at him in his forerib compared to his flank. You look at the way that he transitioned from his shoulder into his rib cage into his hip. He's just seamless in the way that he does all that. He does it in a sound package to go along with it. Just a really, really, really nice individual for a single entry.
Thank you, Judge Heath. Results of Class 38, Santa Gertrudis Early Senior Yearling Bull. Your winner, entry 58, shown by Excel Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas.
Another single entry out here on the Santa Gertrudis side. Nice clean sheath kind of a bull that's got a lot of power and muscle to him when you get behind him. A calf that to have this much just mass and muscle and everything, I think that he could be a little bit bigger footed. I think that he could be a little bit stouter structured whenever we look at him. The amount of bone size and circumference that he sets on the ground, but a big muscled, nice made kind of a bull.
Congratulations, Bill. Results of Class 40, early 2-year-old bulls. Entry number 60 is your class winner, Thomas Benfield, Statesville, North Carolina. Congratulations, your results of Class 18 AOB April Junior Yearling Heifers. Your winner, entry number 27, Adele Hood from Springfield, Kentucky, and first in Kentucky owned. Your second place is entry number 25, Stella Blanford from Springfield, Kentucky. She's second in Kentucky owned.
Two nice individuals out here, and we won't talk about them. We just talked about them, but both of them have a lot of really good traits about them. Both of them are functional in their makeup, their sound. They've got some muscle. They've got some power to them. Both of them, I think, could go out and sire calves that are going to be good contributors to the beef industry. To me, there's one out here that just smokes the other one. The young man here to my far right will be your champion. Come back with the other for the reserve in this division.
Congratulations, your senior champion bull comes out of Class 38, entry 58, shown by XL, Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas. And your reserve senior champion bull out of Class 40, entry 60, shown by Thomas Benfield, Statesville, North Carolina. Winner in the AOB March Junior Yearling Heifer is entry number 30, shown by Caden Kephart from Pleasureville, Kentucky. We're now ready to show for Junior Champion Female, AOB side. We're showing for Grand Champion Bull on Santa Gertrudis side. Grand Champion Bull. Over here in the AOB.
She'll be your champion in this division. As we compare the next two, I think for me, I sort them on soundness, and I think that red female has the advantage there. She'll be your reserve in this division. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your champion in this division, AOB, entry number 27, Dale Hood, Springfield, Kentucky. And your reserve, entry number 30, exhibited by Caden Kephart, Pleasureville, Kentucky. Congratulations.
Much like in the female show on the Santa Gertrudis side, it's fun to sort ones that are this good. And once again, doesn't matter what breed you're talking about, these are good cattle. These are ones that are functional, they're sound, they're big-footed, they've got some ruggedness of design, but yet they've still got a nice show ring look about them. And I think that especially on our 3 class winners here, these are stellar individuals. And I think depending on where you put your preferences is where that you're going to place these guys. The calf, I think, has a tremendous future in front of him. Big-bodied, big-hipped, powered up, good-fronted. Love the angle to his shoulder. At times he wants to break just a little bit behind his shoulders, but I don't think that's a big enough concern. That's just me getting pretty nitpicky on him. Calf out of our 2nd division is the most neat-fronted one in the bunch and puts a lot of really, really good things together. Have a front end like that with an angle to the shoulder is really hard to do, and he does that in such a neat manner. I could see this guy going out and producing some females that are elite just by the sheer look and head and neck angle that this guy has. He loved the forerib that he has. He wants to get just a little pinched in his flank, and I think as he matures and is on feet, I think that'll come around. Love the hip in this guy. You get behind him, he's so powered up. He's so wide from hooks to pins. He's so wide from stifle to stifle, and he shows you so much shape and outer turn when you get him on the side profile that you have to appreciate that about him. And then we set him into motion, and he only gets better as he's so flexible off both ends. Then the big bull down to my far left, I think this guy's the complete package in terms of smoothness of design, in terms of just being a complete eye-appealing kind of a bull, one that gives you a super good silhouette in terms of his rib shape, in terms of his top design, in terms of his hip design. We set him into motion. He's flexible off both ends. Maybe not quite as geek-fronted as the one that was right in front of him. Maybe not quite as extended about that head and neck and as wild made up through that front end. But, man, this guy is so good-footed and he's so big-bodied and he's so big-hipped that you appreciate those things about him. I think all 3 of these are stellars. I think they're all 3 nationally competitive kind of calves. I'm going to go out and pick the one that I like the best today, then reevaluate for a reserve. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. Super good set of Santa Gertrudis.
Congratulations. Your grand champion bull is out of class 38, entry 58, Excel Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas. Congratulations. Your champion at the Kentucky State Fair. Talk to me, guys. Reserve champion, entry number 50 out of class 32, shown by Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations. We got groups now, right? Your champion, Kentucky-owned bull, is class number 49, entry number 49. Entry 49, Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. Congratulations. Congratulations. Your grand champion, heifer in the AOB division, comes out of class 14 as entry number 19, shown by Trey Davis, Iowa, South Carolina. Congratulations, young man. Brings in 22, Grant Taylor. Congratulations, your reserve grand champion comes out of Class 10. Comes out of Class 10 is entry number 12, exhibited by Bristol Holloway, Olmsted, Kentucky. Congratulations to our champion in reserve in the AOB division. Outstanding.
They stand. Two nice star fives out here to start our star five show out. I'm going to leave them like they stand. Young Ladies Heifer's going to win, and I think that she just wins in balancing her underline. I think that she's more uniformly depth from her heart to her flank. I think that she's probably a little bit better, more ideal in her pin set. Just a really nice looking, complete made kind of a heifer. Heifer in the second hole here is one that is big structured, big bone. We like that about her. She just gets a little bit plainer about her head and neck, maybe rolls off in her pins a little bit more than what I'd like to see. Nice job.
I'll catch us up a little bit. Produce a Dam for Santa Gertrudis. Entry 67 was your winner, and 68 was both by XL Santa Gertrudis, Houston, Texas. You Get a Sire was entry 69, also by XL Santa Gertrudis from Houston.
Only a single entry in this class. Here's one that could hold some competition. You talk about one that's square and level down her top and level through her hip and really, really crazy up through that front end. If I could change her, I'd like to change her front end structure just a little bit. She wants to get a little bit round in her shoulder, wants to drop behind those pins, but man, this is one that has a lot of cool pieces and parts.
Or your champion bull on the AOB side, just one bull out of class 30, entry 4. Bradley Piles has your grand champion bull, Bardstown, Kentucky. Andrew Dobb, thank you so much. Ken Culp, thank you. On the Star 5, San Gertrudis in the first class, in class 50. Your winner was entry 76, owned by Andy McDaniel from Atlanta, Georgia. And 74 was second. That was Luke Taylor from Litchfield. And then your single entry number 78 was in the next class was Pitchford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas.
Young lady's got a really nice stout cow here to win this class, and it's a single entry, and I think it could certainly stand some competition. You love the udder structure in this one, love the teat size. One that's got a lot of good things going to it, got a nice heifer calf on her side. Really good pair the young lady brought to us.
Results of class 51, Star 5, is entry 79, sown by Andy McDaniel from Atlanta, Georgia.
as we round out the day in the Santa Gertrudis show, we've been big supporters of the Star 5 deal over the years, and love showing them, and Cody likes showing them, and they kind of fit our program a little bit better than the purebred ones do these days. So we've kind of focused on that. Our cattle are maybe a little bit clubbier than some, so I'm a little more attracted to those kind of cattle, the ones that's got the wild pieces and parts on the Star 5 deal. But all three of these are really good cattle. A good friend of ours passed away today that Cody does a lot of work for, Travis Pembroke. So if you get a chance tonight, say a little prayer for the Pembroke family, because they meant a lot to us, have a lot of Kentucky ties. Beth's a Kentucky native, Travis's wife. So if you get a chance tonight, just say a little prayer for the family. It's kind of a tough deal that they're going through. Really good set of cattle out here all day. The heifer on my far right, big-bellied, smooth-made, one that's got a lot of good pieces and parts to her, super sound on her feet and legs. Maybe gets a little plainer up to her front end, but from a meat and potato standpoint, you really like this one. Super sound, big body, got some power. The wild maid heifer's the one in the middle. She's the one that's crazy up to her front end. She's neat about her head and neck, just really angular about that head and neck, extended. The squarest maid heifer that we have out here, you get behind her, she's level from her hooks to her pins. Love the body shape that she's got. She's the freshest conditioned one out here to go along with it. Is she as deep as the ones on either side of her? No, but I think that she balances out really nice. Then we've got the big pair down here to my far left, one that's just big and rugged and stout and powerful and big muscled and does a lot of good things right, and got a really nice heifer calf on her side. I think that you could go three different ways out here and be pretty comfortable. I'm going to go out and pick the one that I like the best today, that would work in our position the best.
Congratulations, your grand champion female, Star 5, is entry number 78, shown by Pittsford Cattle Company, Eustis, Texas. 79 will be reserved in the Star 5. That's exhibited by Andy McDaniel. And 74 will be your Kentucky-owned Star 5 champion. Congratulations. Piedmontese exhibitors, we're going to take a few pictures, then we'll be ready for you. Piedmontese exhibitors, be on deck. We're going to get pictures, and then we'll start your show. Yeah. Piedmontese, we're getting ready to start. As soon as we get the last pictures taken down here with San Gertrudis, we'll get you through the ring, and then in the barn, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a exhibitors meeting at 1:10 at 4:30, or right after the Piedmontese, whichever comes first. And in 1:10 here in Broadbent Arena, right up here, middle of the show ring on the left as you come in. Over here, is that all right? Do you have, or you got? I think we can figure that out. All right. All right, Piedmontese exhibitors, Judge Heath is ready to go. So if you bring that first class, that's looks like we got 2 in the winter heifer calf class. If you bring those on. We're working Jason Heath pretty hard today, a native Kentuckian. He's from Piedmont, Oklahoma, graduates of University of Kentucky, where he's on the judging team that finished 5th at the national contest, and he was as an individual, a senior All-American. He's judged in 31 states, including North American, Fort Worth, Houston, Dixie National, and the Cattlemen's Congress. Jason, Cody, Ty, and Tiffany are all active raising multiple breeds of cattle focused on the junior show cattle business. So please bring on those Piedmontese, lot number 2 and 3 in the first class, looks like.
Really nice way to start the Piedmontese show. Young man in the cowboy hat's going to have our first place winner in this class. I think this effort's just a little bit better when we set her into motion. She holds her top together a little bit better. As we watch her walk around the ring, she holds it more true and more level. She's a little bit better from her hooks to her pins. Appreciate the muscle design in these cattle, as that's one of the things that they're known for and bred for, is just the lean meat that they have. She's probably a little bit deeper chested and a little bit more natural body mass to her. Heifer that's coming in second, a March calf, is one that once again we appreciate for the muscle mass that she has. This one just gets a little bit tighter in her flank, maybe just wants to come up in that top, not quite as flexible when we set her into motion.
Thank you, Judge Heath. Results of Class 2, winner heifer calves. Piedmontese your winner is entry number 3, A.J. Strickland, Middlesex, North Carolina. Congratulations. Second place, entry number 2, Luke Johnson from Carlisle, Kentucky, and first in Kentucky owned.
Only a single entry in this class as well, but Here's one that I think could probably stand some competition. Is she's big top, big back, big ended, like we all like to see. But I think moreover, when we set her into motion, she's flexible out through her front end and flexible off her hind leg. If we could change her, we might like to see her just a little bit more, a little bit broodier in her makeup and a little bit deeper in her flank.
Thank you, Judge Heath. Results of class number 4. Entry number 7 is your winner, Luke Johnson, the exhibitor from Carlisle, Kentucky. We need entries number 3 and 7 back to show for junior champion. We got a calf champion, junior champion, so they've already been picked. Sorry about that. We need class number 9, lots 10 and 11, please.
Two nice females out here in this division, and I think that it gets pretty close between the two, but I'm going to go with the young ladies heifer. I think this one just has a little bit easier flesh and has a little bit more doability. When we look at her in terms of her depth of her heart and depth of her flank, I think that she balances out just a little bit better. Granted, the calf that we've got in the second hole is a little bit heavier muscled. I think it's a little bit wider whenever we look at her from stifle to stifle with more muscle expression. I think just not quite as feminine as the heifer that we used to win the class. Two really nice heifers.
All right, the results from class number 9, senior female. Your winner is entry number 10, A.J. Strickland, Middlesex, North Carolina. And in second place was entry number 11, shown by Ed Johnson from Fisherville, Kentucky, and first in Kentucky owned. We need 3, 7, and 10. Show for champion.
Well, over the years, I've had the opportunity to judge a lot of different breeds, but this is the first time I've ever had the chance to judge the Piedmontese, and I appreciate them for what they are. They're heavy-muscled, lean-made kind of cattle that are meant to grade and they're meant to cut. And I think that these three are really good individuals of that. I think if we talk about them, I think that the big heifer, the older heifer, probably the easiest flesh and biggest bodied one of the bunch. She's got more natural depth of heart and more natural fullness up in her upper part of her rib shape, and we appreciate that about her. I really like the femininity that she shows. She's flexible off both ends. Realizing that, she does give up a little bit of muscle shape and design. The heifer out of our second oldest class, tremendous amount of shape and outer turn to her quarter, tremendous amount of muscle whenever we get behind her. From when you look at this one from stifle to stifle, I think that she's tremendously big muscled in that aspect. To me, I think that she gets just a little bit tighter in her flank and wants to roll off her pins just a little bit more than the ones on either side of her. The calf out of the first class is one that is ultra feminine up through her front end, really neat to look at when we get her on the side profile. Once again, heavy muscled, has a lot of power and mass to it too. But to me, I think that it gets really close between these three. I'll go out and pick your champion and come back and pick your reserve.
Congratulations, your grand champion Piedmontese female here at the Kentucky State Fair is entry number 10, shown by A.J. Strickland, Middlesex, North Carolina. Congratulations. Reserve comes out of Class 2. And also A.J. Strickland, Middlesex, North Carolina, entry number 3. Congratulations to the North Carolina exhibitors having champion and reserve female. Congratulations, your Kentucky-owned female champion here is entry number 7, shown by Luke Johnson from Carlisle, Kentucky. Congratulations, Kentucky-owned female champion here in Piedmontese. Bring on those bulls. Again, in the barn, folks in the barn, we have an exhibitors meeting. As soon as we get through with the Piedmontese, we got 2 bulls is all that we have left. We're up here in 110, about center ways of the Broadbent Arena. Superintendent Rob Ambergy will be there as soon as we finish up the bull show here with the Piedmontese. So if you're in the barn and you want to attend the exhibitor meeting, 110 in Broadbent.
both of our bulls out here are class winners and division winners, and they'll be your champion and reserve respectively. But let's talk about both of them. Calf to my far right, extended in his pattern, extended up through his front end, tremendous amount of muscle shape and just lean raw muscle that he has, and he's flexible enough off both ends. Maybe just like to see him just a little bit looser out of his front shoulder. Big bull down here to my far left is one that you do appreciate how flexible he is. Probably has a little bit better angle out of his shoulder than what the young calf does. Tremendous muscle in him as well. Love the pigment around his eyes. Really nice calf. Maybe just like to see him a little bit more developed in testicular development. So we got two good bulls out here. I'm going to use a big bull for my champion and come back with the younger calf for reserve.
Thank you, Judge Heath. You're a grand champion bull here at the Kentucky State Fair at the Piedmontese show is entry number 21, shown by A.J. Strickland, Middlesex, North Carolina. And your reserve grand champion Piedmontese bull is shown by Luke Johnson from Carlisle, Kentucky. Congratulations. Piedmontese exhibitors, thank you. Thank you for taking time to come. And we got one more produce of dam class, I think, and then exhibitor meeting in 110. How's 110 up there? Congratulations, our produce of Dam, Piedmontese, A.J. Strickland, your winner from Middlesex, North Carolina. Congratulations. Again, if you're in the barn and you want to come to the exhibitor meeting, it's in Broadbent here in about